what is sorting?
When we
In
segregate the elements as per their characteristics in a group,
in a particular order, we can say that increment order or decrement order. We have integer array of page, and you have different set of values in it. Okay, and now I want to sort it. After sorting, what should be the final result? In memory, how this is stored, we know 10, 20, and 3.
it will be 3, 10, 20, or opposite after
Yes,
sorting.
correct. So after sorting, correct, we need a values. What values we need? We need 3 first. If we are sorting in ascending order, we want 3 first, then 10 should go in the second place, and 20 is in third. So the indexes should change, the shuffling should happen. Okay, before this we will try to understand what is array, how the array values are stored at a particular index. What is the index of each value? Like what is index of 10 in the first array, in this array?
0.
So 0, 1, 2. Okay, so what we have to do logically, I have to compare first is greater than zeroth index element is less than or greater than. We need to know. If we want to sort in ascending order, we are going to check that first index, that 0 index should be less than the second index value. If it is not less than, then we will keep it as it is. Then again 0 compare with 2. Now in comparison 10 is greater than 3. So shuffle it. Keep 3 here, 10 here. Okay, after swap, 3 is at a first 0 index, then comparison we have to do. So how we will find what is less than greater than? We know if condition. How we will write? If a of 0 less than a of 1, then we will interchange the values. Okay, so I will just write swap the values. Okay, just interchange, just interchange. Okay, so I will just write it in this fashion. Coding we will do later. I'm just trying to understand or make you understand the logic that we are going to implement. So first I verified 0th index and first index. Next I have to verify for a 0 index and 2 index. A of 0 less than a of 2 this time. Yes, able to understand? If it is true, like 10 is less than 3, what we need to write, actually the condition is it correct? So what we want first is less than. If it is less, we are not going to change. So actually we want is, if first element is, first value like index 0 is greater than, then we are going to change. Okay, 10 and 20 comparison. If 10 is greater, then we are going to interchange the values. Otherwise it will do a descending order sorting. Okay, this logic, it will do a descending order sorting. We want ascending order first. So if your 0th index element is greater, then only we are going to interchange the values, right? What values we want to change? A of 0, a of 2, the both. Now is this logic clear? Interchange the values, like we are changing, store it, replace each other. Okay, 3 here, 10 there. Now first time the condition is not true, it is not changed. Second time condition is true and the values are changed. After this one round of iteration, the values in my array are 3, and then we have 20, and then we have 10. Still we do not have the final sorted answer. Do we have? No. After one iteration also we do not have this final answer. Yes, correct.
Yes.
Again we will check for one more round. Okay. In this next round, what we will do, I will write it here. Again check the values from first to second. What is comparison evaluation? First digit like 3, zeroth index element is greater than 20. Is it true?
No.
No. Okay. Now this time we have to compare between this 20 and 10. So 20 is greater than 10. Is it true?
Yes.
Yes. So we have to swap these values, interchange. What will become 3? 3 will remain as it is, 10 and 20 will replace. So now we have final answer. After second iteration, after second round of iteration is done. Fine. Able to make sense, guys? Something able to understand? What is sorting first of all? Tell me. Sorting is at a final result, I want numbers in particular order, like ascending order. We have integer array. Array values are 10, 23. Output should be 3, 10, 20. This is the output we want at final. This is the output we want. Now we have to compare each value with each other. Then the logic here we have to implement is, first time we are verifying what values we are verifying. Okay. So let us compare again. First element index we are comparing with first and then second. Less than, greater than. Okay, the comparison will happen, numbers will change. Second time we are verifying the first element index to the next. Okay, plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 we will check. So again, if you have different values, we would have done this comparison more and more. If you have more and more, we will compare more and more. Okay. Fine. So by comparing only we will be able to find which number should come first, because we want smallest number first at a index 0. What is ascending order sorting?
Smallest
What
to the
is
biggest.
ascending order sorting meaning is? Tell me, can we have answers?
Yeah, smaller to bigger.
Yes. So we want at a 0 index always we want smallest. Then at a 1 index larger than the smallest. Next to smallest, next to smallest, and at a last index we want the higher value. This sorting is create a new class. We will give, I'll write sorting demo. Take a main method, finish. We will declare one array, integer array of ages, consider. And in this, we will store the numbers, different values we will store. Okay. Fine. 4. And we will print this array before sorting. I'll write a message that before sorting, okay, ages equals to. And how to print array values? We know for loop equals to integer I equals to 0, I less than ages dot length I plus plus, and we are going to print the array values ages of I. Fine. Just I'm printing before sorting. Let us print one more time after sorting. Okay. The values will change after sorting. So now we will implement the sorting logic here. The logic is we need to compare one to another. Okay. What we need is we need obviously one for loop to run from a 0 index to second index. Let us write a for loop. We need a for loop. We know integer I equals to 0, I less than ages dot length I plus plus. For loop is to compare from the 0 index to last index. But next also we need a one more loop where we are comparing 0 index to 1 index, right? We need two for loops, which is first we will verify from a 0 index, and then we need one more variable which will hold different values, the j for loop, which will compare. Okay, so comparison can't be done with one. We need one more for loop. In this we will write integer j equals to 0. J we do not want it 0. Always we will check from a next number. Like if your I is 0, we have to check it with 1. Right? We will not compare 0 with 0. Why we need to check the number with itself? No, right? In the sorting, we do not need to check with itself. So we don't need to start from a 0. We need to start from a I plus 1. Wherever your I is, if it is 0, then we will compare it with next value of j will be next value. So we are always comparing with the next ages dot length. We have to go till the end. In this, we have to write a if condition and swap the values, like interchange the values. If ages of, okay, which is I, than with ages of j, I we will compare with j. If this is greater, then we are going to change it, interchange the values. So for interchange, we need one integer temp variable. For a time being, I will store this j value in the temp, I value in the temp. Then this ages of I will be replaced with ages of j to temp. So the values got interchanged. The sorting is also done with this logic, and after this we will print. After this for loop is done, we can print ages of final after sorting is printed. If you are getting confused where to write it very end, write it at the end. Okay, let us take one more for loop, and in this we will print. Okay, so I'll remove this, we don't need it. Finally, your sorting is completed after these for loops are executed. Let us run and see the output. For sorting, the values are 67, 34 and 54. Okay. After sorting is 3, 5 and yes, it is correct. Yes. Now we will run it in a debug mode and see the values, how the values are changing. Right side we have debug mode. Open perspective, click it. Then we have debug. Open it and let us put some breakpoints. At this we want a breakpoint. Okay, j values whenever they are changing. What is if condition? That also we need to see. Okay, values got interchanged. That also we will see one by one. So I just have to click on, like, on this line number we have to double click, so breakpoints are added. Okay, then we don't need anything. This can click on a debug. Okay, so debug started. Initially I value. Here we have resume. See guys, what is I value? 0. J is 1. We have to compare with 0 index and first index, right? We have to compare with 0 index to first index, not 0 to 0 or 1 to 1. Why we need to compare a number with itself? We don't need. So we started a loop. One is from a 0. Second one is larger than this. Like if I is 0 first iteration, second time I will be 1. So 1 plus 1 will be 2. So next time we want to check with next number than I. So whatever is I value, I plus 1, we are starting the J loop. Because we are comparing with next number, not with itself. We have I equals to 0 initially and J is 1. This is clear. Is this clear to all of you? Vinith, is it clear?
Yes, Priya. Yeah.
Yes? Fine. These values of ij are initially set to 0 and 1. Next, what will be the answer of this if condition? 67 is greater than 34. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Vinith, right? Yes, it is greater. Larger it is. And we are also checking for a larger. Okay, this condition becomes true. So if block will be executed, no doubt on that. Obviously if will be executed. So what will happen? 34 will go to 0 index, 67 will be in the first index. After this interchange, 0 index value is in the temp, which is 67 in the temp. Then at a I index we are placing J index value, that is 34 is now in the first index, and in the first index age of I is became temp was 67, so values got interchanged. After this one iteration, the values of array are 34 comma 67 comma 54, right? What is 53, right? This is what we have the array after one iteration, but this is also not the final answer. Correct? Let us resume execution and see what happens. Temp is 67. Is it correct, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. See, 67 is temp. Then we have, okay, the values got changed. This time J is 2. Okay, this time J is 2. And what is I value? Your I value is 34. J is 5. What is ages of I is representing now this time? 34, because values got changed. Yes. And your J is 2. 2 index meaning is which number?
5.
Right? Vinith? Correct? One,
Yes.
2, 3. So 0 is 34 because values got changed. In the same array we are storing. We are not storing in a different array. We are swapping the values in the same array itself. Right? So just interchanging the values in same array. So we have now comparison with 34 to 5. What will be the evaluation of this? True or false? 34 is greater than 5. True, false?
True.
Yes. Everyone agree? True.
Yes.
So now what will happen here? Temp got 34 assigned. The values will change. After this, the values will become 5 will be at a first place. Then next number is 67 will remain as it is. Okay, and 34 came to second index and 3 as it is. The values interchanged between 0 index and 2 index. Okay, 5 is at a first. Now again in this next iteration, j value is 3. Now comparison is with 0 and 3. What is 0 index and 3 index? 5 and 3. Third index number is last index. The size is 4.
3.
5 is compared with 3. Is it true or false if condition is true? 5 is again greater than 3. So again interchange the values. If you interchange the values, what will become? Final array will be 3. And what was there? 67. 34 as well, and then 5. So which values are interchanged? 3 and 5 is interchanged. Okay, at a j3, the j counter variable is 3, then the final array after one for loop iteration is 3, 67, 34, 5. Still we do not have a final answer. But we have the smallest digit at first index. The 0 index has the smallest number. After first iteration, we have the smallest value. It will happen every time. Okay, second iteration is completed, smallest value will be at a second index, third index, like that. Okay, so first index is 0. At 0 index, the smallest value we have at this end of one for loop. Now the values got interchanged. Temp was 5. The values are changed. J is 3. Condition is true or false. J 3 less than age. It will be
True.
true. True or
It
false?
will come out of the loop. False.
Okay, false. Yes, correct. J is 3. Okay. Now J is 3. 3 less than 3. Is it true, Vinith?
No.
Okay. 3 less than 3 will not be true. So that is what we have to check. So it will come out of a loop. At this condition, what it is verifying is after this is done, 3 less than 3. Condition will be false. So it will break the loop. It will stop executing loop. It will go outside of this J loop. J loop will be, condition is false. So J loop will stop executing, but I loop is again there. I value will be incremented now. Now I value is 1. Previously it was 0. Now I value is 1. Automatically it got incremented. Now I value is 1. And what is J value? We'll see. J value is 2 because J is always starting from I plus 1. Because we want to check the number and the next number. Not itself, not previous. We know this logic, right? We have to start from the I plus 1 always. So first index, the 0 index is, we have answer which is correct, 3, that is set. We are not changing, value is 1. So what is index 1 value after this loop? What was that? What was the number in a index 1? What is presently?
67.
Okay, 67 we are comparing with I plus 1 index, which is 34. Okay, let us run it again, resume. J is 2, correct. Temp is 67, it is assigned. 67 and 34 comparison result is true or false? 67 greater than 34.
True.
True, and control is inside a if loop. Temp value is 67. The values will interchange now. What values will interchange? this 64 to 34 will interchange and the values will become 3 comma 34 comma 67 comma 5. Okay, this is what we have in a. Okay, now I value is as it is 1, j will be 3, j was 2 and now j is 3. What comparisons are first element index and third? First to third. Okay, element first is 34 and third is 5. So what is the comparison result here? 34 greater than 5?
Yes.
Again values will interchange. After interchange, what will be our array?
3, 5,
3
6.
was there and 5 now got into this place. 67 is there as it
30.
is. Okay, and 34 as this. 67 was as it is, just 5 and 34 got interchanged. Right? Okay. Again resume the execution. See, I value, j value was 3, comparison completed. Okay, so now j loop will stop executing. At 3 there are no elements after 3, right? So j will stop executing. I value is 2 now. What is j value? I plus 1, meaning 3, because I is 2 now. 2 to 3 comparison. Which values are compared? Index 2 is 67, index 3 is 34. These values are compared. The comparison is true or false. 67 is greater than 34.
True.
True. Again, it became true. Values will interchange. After this, the values interchange 3, 5, 34, and 67. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Yes. So values got interchanged. Completed. So J is 3. Then J loop will stop executing. Now I is 3. I will also stop executing or will continue. 3, like 4 is the size, so last element index is 3. After that, we don't have elements to check. It will stop executing. Done. So we have the result before sorting. So loop is completed. Remaining steps are also completed before sorting, after sorting. So this is our final result. Is it? Okay, what was actually it was 5, right? My bad. 3, 5. Which values interchanged? 67 and 34. After the values are interchanged, we have final result. Is it the final sorting result correct?
Yes.
Is
Yes,
this correct? Okay.
correct.
So after much of shuffling, we know that okay, we are at an end and the result is correct. So we got ascending order sorting with the greater than comparison. Greater than. If I just change it to less than, it will be descending order sorting. We are checking greater than, interchange the values. If it is less than, then interchange the values. It will be descending order, no change. So just make a note of this ascending order sorting program. In interview, we get question on ascending order sorting majorly. Okay, and remember the logic. This will be the point people make a mistake. Always people have a habit that okay, I equals to 0, loop will be started. J equals to 0, loop will start. Everyone knows in sorting we need a 2 for loops, like one is a I loop, J loop, and people will write this if condition also very correct. But I have seen many people make mistake at this. We need to start J for loop I plus 1, because numbers we never compare with itself. Don't need as well. We always want to compare with I plus 1. We always have to compare number with next number, next index number. This is the mistake number 1 people do. Then there will be some confusion in greater than, less than, the students I see. And some are writing like correctly the basic program. It is not very difficult as well. The expectations in the interview is you should know what is array, you should know what is for loop, you should know the syntax, able to write a small program, and then result is also correct.